Hello, everyone. This is your host, Alexbalgood, and this is Leap of Health. And today I am super excited to be connecting with Jenna Kedy. She's connecting with us from Canada. So I love that we can do these interviews and these conversations from anywhere around the world. So it's just awesome. She is a health advocate on IBS, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, tell us a little bit about your story and how you became an advocate for this. How are you empowering other people that are going through the same situation like you?
So I struggled with my health my entire life, and my mom always knew. So she always told her that my general doctor about my situation, but it was always brushed off as like she's growing pains or she is just having normal kid things. I also had anxiety disorder. So kind of when you get that anxiety disorder label on your medical record, I think a lot of anxiety warriors who also have chronic illness can totally relate. They kind of like to brush everything off as anxiety. And I firsthand know that anxiety can do insane things to your body and especially your gut because your gut and your brain are BFFs and they talk to each other every single day. And everything that happens in your gut happens in your brain. That's why we get that gut feeling when we're feeling sketched out by a situation.
That's right.
So I was brushed off for years as, oh, she's anxious. Her belly hurts because she's anxious. Her joints hurt because she's anxious. But then when I was 11 years old, I got a really yucky flu. And to this day, we don't really know what it was, but I had rashes all over my body and I was really sick. So I ended up going to the ER quite a few times before I was referred to a rheumatologist. So then at the rheumatologist, I was diagnosed with having juvenile enthesitis related arthritis, which, if people don't know what that is, that was my first diagnosis. And that arthritis can affect your stomach as well. So I was diagnosed with that at first, and I got on biologic medication. And I was also told that I always had a greater risk for developing IBD when I got older. And actually, my nan died of complications of colitis. A lot of people in my family struggle with IBD. So it's not a stranger in our family. So they definitely told me that. And we're like, you need to get that checked out. So I was seen by a gastroenterologist and had scopes done and had everything checked out very young to make sure that I didn't have IBD when I was little. So they could not find IBD. And then my stomach kind of progressively got worse as I got a little bit older. And again, I kept getting that kind of anxiety label pushed around type deal. And then I finally got my scope done, I think 4 years ago, and they were able to say, yes, it's IBS. You don't have celiac disease. And I was like so happy I did not have celiac because I am a carb enthusiast. I love my bread and my pasta. And my heart goes out to all my celiac friends because that would be super difficult to navigate that world. So I was really excited that I did not have that. But I was diagnosed with IBS. And honestly, it was a really challenging diagnosis because it's one of those things that I feel like it's kind of under research. You say IBS to a lot of people and they don't really understand what it is or know what it is. So it's like really hard. And it is a lot different than IBD. And I'm still at risk to get IBD as I get older. But unfortunately, living in Canada, seeing a gastroenterologist is really hard. And now that I'm an adult and I'm out of the pediatric system, the wait lists in where I live are like 10 to 15 years long, which probably sounds insane to anyone that lives in the States because the healthcare system here is so different. But I navigated that, and it was definitely really hard at first because there wasn't a lot of medications that I could go on to really help it. And at the same time, I'm in like kind of this weird catch 22 phase of like, maybe do I have IBD now? Because my symptoms have definitely progressed over time. But I am already on biologic meds. And if people don't know, biologic meds are very immunosuppressant medications, and I'm on Remicade. So if I was diagnosed with IBD, I'd be on the same medication. So it's really hard to know if maybe is my medication now just masking what I'm dealing with these days, or do I actually have this problem going on? So it's really hard to say, but I try to navigate everyday life and do the best I can through all my issues that I'm dealing with. And the reason I decided to become a chronic illness advocate was because I really felt like when I was little, I didn't see a lot of people in the media who were doing big things. And when you're diagnosed with this big label when you're so young, you feel like, is this the end of my life? Is this the end of everything? Am I going to be able to like get a job? Am I going to be able to be successful? Like, it's so scary when you're little and you're like, this is no matter what the disability is, especially if it's something like IBS where a lot of people are undereducated on it, and you go talk to your friends about it and they don't get it. and you feel like maybe is this the end? Am I not going to be able to be successful? So I want to be that voice for youth out there or other people of all ages being diagnosed with chronic illness, honestly, to say that like it's not going to enter your life and you can still achieve really awesome things even when dealing with that challenge. And I also just wanted to be able to change the healthcare system because where I live, there's a lot of things that are broken within our healthcare system. We're kind of in a crisis, but also for people worldwide of like using my voice and my experience to hopefully help healthcare providers know what patients are going through and be a voice for the people that maybe are too afraid to speak up and talk about things that they like and things that they don't like when they're trying to navigate the healthcare system, especially when it's youth. Because I think a lot of things like IBS, when people are thinking about it, they think about older adults or they think about just not, they're not thinking about me, a 19-year-old. I was diagnosed officially when I was 16. So they're not thinking about that person. So I want to be that niche voice in our community.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And for everybody that's listening and, they're like, okay, this is good. Like, I love that, you're talking about it, but they still don't know what IBS. So
Yes.
tell us what IBS is, because
So I've,
they might not know exactly what it is, how it affects you, and what it comes from. If you know the root and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about that.
For sure. So IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome. So it is an umbrella of a million different situations. And I've never met another IBS warrior with the same story. So it's definitely right now with the research and the science we have today, it's definitely a mishmash of a lot of different things that can happen to you. So there's three main types that people have that I know about. There could be in other parts of the world different ways they identify with it. But in Canada, the three main pools would be IBS-C, which I have, which is like mainly like my phone there, mainly constipation based. And then there is IBS D, which is mainly you're having diarrhea all the time. And then there's IBS U, which is unknown or like a mix of different symptoms that you are experiencing. So the main symptoms of IBS, honestly, the list is really long, can be the obvious of like you're having diarrhea all the time or you're constipated forever, which for a lot of women out there, it's real for all of us. Like women struggle with that, and I think we need to talk about it more because it's such like a taboo, I feel like, but it's like everyone poops, so like we need to talk about this more. um and then the unknown is mishash. So basically the main symptoms would be like the stomach pain, the discomfort, but then there's other things that people deal with because as I said, your mind and your gut are so connected, and you can deal with like fatigue and memory loss. If you're flared up, you're having that brain fog. Some people deal with a lot of it, can cause a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression because if you're having to go to the bathroom more often than usual or less than you need to and you feel bloated and disgusting, it can really affect your mental health. It can affect how often you can exercise. Some people, it can affect if they can go to work or hold a stable job, and it can really impact your life in a lot of different ways. And I think it's learning how to navigate day to day and like working, of course, in like the employment sectors is like working with people, having those open conversations. And I think it's just, we need to make it more of a known thing that like so many people have IBS and it's not something scary to talk about.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. I think I love that you mentioned all these different types of it and how it can manifest differently in different people.
Yes.
So does this IBS, does it has a cure, or do you live with it for forever? Can it get better? Can it get worse? What are some of these things that can happen to you?
So as far as I know, is that it does not have a cure right now, and you kind of just got to live with it. Is what basically my doctors told me was like, there's not really a whole lot you can do. You can go on anti-nausea meds, you can take laxatives. Some people need to take non-laxatives. I don't know what the other word is. I am not a doctor. I'm just an advocate. But you might need to go on the opposite of that. You may need to eat a high fiber diet, low fiber diet. There's so many different things. There is low FODMAP, which is incredibly popular. If anyone in the IBS community, you probably are familiar with low FODMAP. And low FODMAP, I was on it like 5 years ago for a short time. It's like this diet where you're not supposed to eat specific foods with like acid and you're supposed to be like really low fiber. But I found that it made my symptoms so bad. But then my friend went on low FODMAP and said it like saved her life. So as I said, it's so different for every single patient. But it's one of those things that there's not really much that they can do. It's not like they can give you a surgery and it's going to magically disappear. There's not really any set in stone medications. Anywhere this could be where I live. The United States is so much more advanced than where I live. So things could be so different for you wherever you guys are out in the world. But there's not really a set medication or really a set treatment plan that you can do. It's kind of just kind of doing what works for you. Like I find massage therapy really helps me, and that sounds probably wild, but when you're dealing with constipation all the time, like it can be really helpful. Some people like to go to a naturopath. Some people work really closely with the nutritionist. I find moving my body every day really helpful. Drinking a lot of water and doing like little things not are not necessarily like doctor prescribed really does help me get through my day-to-day life and make my symptoms manageable.
Hmm. No, I think that's important. And it, as you said, these are not things that doctor might prescribe you, but moving it's so important. Drinking water
Yes,
it's so important. Watching your diet, especially when you have been diagnosed with IBS. I think it's those are some of the tools that people that maybe that are listening or maybe experiencing this. They can try simple things like that and see a big difference. Yeah, even a massage therapy, I think it's great. I have interview a lot of massage therapists or that do different modalities for some of these symptoms, and I think are definitely great.
absolutely. I love massage so much. I think registered massage therapists are
Hmm.
amazing. And I also saw an osteopath for quite a while, and she was super, super helpful. And a lot of people don't even like know about those like niche things. But I also think is I'm a science girl through and through. I'm a pro vaccine gal, but I'm like, whatever you want to do with your life, you do it. But I'm definitely a pro science gal. But at the same time, there is natural things that I have tried and I absolutely love them. I think sometimes your doctor, a lot of people get too, I think some people get too sciencey with it and they're like, my doctor said this and this and this. And then like obviously sciencey doctors are slay, but they don't really know a lot about the natural field because that's not what they're experts in. But my rheumatologist that I had as a child was super great because she was always like, if it works for you and you try it and it's not hurting you and it's healthy, like do it. Even if it wasn't something that she fully like believed in because it doesn't have the research to back it up. Honestly, like do what feels good for you. Cause like seeing an osteopath was like so helpful for me. And honestly, using a diffuser with essential oils and honestly having crystals in my room, like little things like that that aren't like the sciencey niche can be so healing for you. And you just it's all trial and error. Like don't be afraid to try something new as long as it's not something like scary and crazy, but trying something new that's like might seem a little bit silly and your grandmother might laugh at you for doing it, like do it and see if it works for you because it could be the one thing that really helps you get through your symptoms.
Yeah, we're all different. We all react to different modalities, different ways. And yeah, as you mentioned, if you're doing something that maybe it's not too conventional or, that your doctor prescribed, definitely Oriental medicine or any other modalities are so great for so many things. And, they have helped a lot of people. Our Western medicine, I have mentioned it many times, it's a couple hundred years old when, compared to medicine from India or Oriental medicine. It's been around for like three,
Absolutely.
4,000, 5,000 years around. So why not do something that we've been doing for thousands of years? But
Absolutely.
but I love that get or have gotten to combine both modalities, Western medicine and also holistic approaches to different things. I think
Absolutely.
they are so great. uh, I think all this information is just great, especially for people that don't understand, IBS and the complexity to it.
Mhm.
What would you like to tell to those people that maybe just realize they have that? What are some of maybe your tips that you can give them to manage IBS?
Honestly, like, don't be afraid and, like, don't let people, like if, like it's so hard to talk to your friends about it, but honestly, like, people that love you and that cheer you on are gonna be there for a shoulder to cry on because some days are really difficult with it, and sometimes it's really hard to manage, and I think a lot of it is that mental health piece. When you're diagnosed with anything new, it can be so hard to accept it and embrace it, and it takes a really long time to really, like, identify with yourself because honestly, like, anytime you're diagnosed with a chronic illness, it can feel like a crazy identity crisis because it's like it's so hard to separate yourself from the illness, but at the same time, like I have my illnesses and my disabilities so ingrained in my identity now that it's just a part of who I am. And I love that part of myself and I'm able to embrace that self love. So trying to get to that point and like talking to your friends and family is so helpful in navigating that mental health process. I would say listen to what your doctor says. If you like your doctor and have a really good relationship with them, like go with what they say, try the medications that they recommend, even if it doesn't feel if it's scary or intimidating. Every single medication has 7,000 side effects. Let's be real. So try things out, be willing to take the risks. Try out holistic medicine if that's something that you really feel like aligns with what you want to do. Don't be afraid to like try something new and don't let other people scare you away from holistic medicine. As we said, it's been around for so long. Like there's all different types of holistic medicine, like look into different things. Also, don't use Dr. Google because Dr. Google and Dr. Facebook can be helpful, but it can be really toxic. So make sure that if you're reading something online, it's from an accredited source and not just someone's mom on Reddit that says to do XYZ because she might not know what she do. Maybe she does. Like if that you want to try that, good for you. And I hope it works out. But like I personally don't think that I would. Make sure you're looking at accredited sources, listening to people and trying to find a community because honestly, we have the internet nowadays. Like years ago, did not have this amazing platform. And there is so many groups on Facebook for people that deal with all different types of chronic illnesses, specifically IBS, different issues. There's groups of people out there that want to be your friend, that want to cheer you on from all over the world. And that's a part of it that I think has really helped me in my journey is I have made friends from the States, from other parts of Canada that I would never have met if I didn't have these illnesses and these challenges. And we are able to connect on a deeper level than I love my other friends. They are my biggest cheerleaders, but meeting people that understand what you're going through is so empowering and you're able to share that story and the community you're able to create with others is really beautiful in the Spoonie community. And I'd also recommend just like not being afraid to try to keep living your life because I feel like you can feel really like I just want to lay in bed forever, but that's not fun. That's boring. Like push yourself and try to get outside, but also don't push yourself too hard and give yourself grace because some days you just can't do anything. And that is totally okay. If you're having a low spoons day, have a low spoons day. Let yourself heal and you'll do amazing things. You just got to love yourself and listen to your intuition.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's just great what you're doing. I think it's great that you keep sharing, especially with younger, community now that maybe they might find themselves like, oh my God, I have this, and I thought this was for like old people or only
Mhm.
old people gets this. So I think it's great that there's all these groups and all this support out there. I think it's just amazing. I thank you for sharing your story with us. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we go?
I just hope that everyone has a good life and remembers that even if you were diagnosed with IBS, your story is not going to end. And if someone you know was diagnosed with IBS, just be there for them in whatever aspect they need to be. You don't need to be pushy. You don't need to talk about it unless they bring it up. And just be there for them and cheer them on because they need that extra love right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. I think that's just awesome. If anyone has any other questions or they might be going through what you're going through, and if they want to connect with you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at underscore Miss Jenna K underscore. And I also recently just launched my new chronic illness specific Instagram, which I'm really excited to do some storytelling and share some advocacy specific content. So you can follow me on there at Spoonie underscore Jenna K. And I would be so thrilled to connect with anybody who wants to DM me. I'm here. If you want to cry about your illness, I will be your girl.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for all that. If you guys want to know any more about my show, you can find me on alexbalgood.com. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, pretty much everywhere. You can also buy my book. You can find it on Amazon and Barnes& and Noble. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Jenna, for sharing all your story with us. And everybody, thank you for listening today. And have an amazing and blessed day. Thank you.